Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Turnbuckle Sessions. I am your host, Thomas Montalto, and today we have a very special guest, one of our Pod Foundation compadres. We have the MVP Marco Denton from the Chick Foley Show. What's going on, Marco?
Nothing much. I'm super excited to be here. I know I've been hounding you to get on the session, so I'm excited.
Well, I figured if I get you on all the hounding I do on Sheena to get on the Chick Foley Show, maybe the favor will be returned.
Oh no, yeah, no, she has to. She has no choice now. I'm on here. I broke the mold. She has no choice but to show up on this wonderful show now.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you, man. I've been planning to have you on, but let's talk, man. When did you first fall in love with wrestling? I want to learn your backstory. Let's go
Oh,
all the way back. What's
oh
your
man.
first earliest memories? Let's dive way back.
Let's go earliest memories. Definitely with my father and my uncle. They're huge wrestling fans. My earliest memories are like the Von Erichs, the Fabulous Freebirds. So obviously I'm an East Coast guy, but my father is from Mississippi. He's from the South. So I grew up on Southern wrestling. So Junkyard Dog, Butch Reed, everybody. So like I grew up on the Southern style of wrestling before I migrated over to the East Coast style of wrestling. But yeah, NWA, definitely a huge Ric Flair fan, Road Warriors, and all these. Obviously, I call them the Road Warriors and not the Legion of Doom. So there you go, right there. But yeah, just like I said, Mid South, all the Southern type of wrestling. I was a huge fan of. Before obviously WWF came into play, and then with all the larger than life characters and how they portray things, it just caught my eye a little bit more as I got older and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm rooted in the deep South when it comes to my wrestling fandom.
I gotta agree. Like they'll always be the Road Warriors to me too. They've
Yeah.
never been the Legion of Doom. I remember watching the AWA as a little kid. But I
Mhm.
gotta ask you now. Like I'm kind of curious. I don't mean to put you on the spot. How old are
Yes.
you? You're naming these guys that I remember as a kid, the Freebirds and the Von Erichs.
Oh yeah,
How
no,
old are you?
I'm 40. I just actually just turned
Okay.
40 last
Oh,
year, so
so you're not too
yeah.
far away from my
Yeah.
age. You're just 6 years younger than the staple.
Yep.
That's cool. So when did you fall in love with wrestling?
I'm gonna, I remember my earliest memories obviously are the Von Erichs and all that stuff, but I think I fell in love with wrestling when I gotta, even though we grew up to know he's not the greatest of people, but obviously Hulk Hogan, he's the gateway guy that brings you into the like I said, larger than life, bright red and yellow, just brought me into it, and I think I fell in love with it more when Ultimate Warrior came into play. He's one of my favorite guys as well. Probably not obviously when you get older, not the greatest guy as well. There you go, right there. I actually have that. That's my
You have
favorite.
this too?
Yeah, I have it as well. I try to get stands for it, but they're like astronomically expensive. So I'm
All
trying to
right.
look for some cheap LJN stands to
Talk.
display my
We'll
butt.
talk after. We'll talk
Oh, all
after.
right, nice. But yeah, I fell in love with it. I watched it, but I fell in love with it. WrestleMania 6. Kind of like the passing of the torch with Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. That's probably my most vivid memory of a pay per view. Obviously, I watched pay per views before that, Survivor Series and the Summer Slams and all that stuff. But for something like that, just a spectacle of that pay per view alone, and me being a huge Ultimate Warrior fan at the time, and also being a huge Hulk Hogan fan, and then it's kind of like one of the many times, or one of the first times that two baby faces actually went head to head, and there was really no bad guy in the mix. It was just who you wanted to win and who you didn't want to win. So, but yeah, I think that's when I kind of like fell in love with it, and just seemed like just the atmosphere of that match right there. I still watch it to this day. I go back and watch it. It's not the 5-star wrestling classic, but it's a 5-star in the sense where it tells a story about, like I said, the passing of the torch of who's gonna carry that title for the future of the WWF. But obviously, we know what happened shortly after that.
It's funny. I remember, like, I wasn't the biggest Warrior fan. I think my favorite Warrior moment was probably at Madison Square Garden at SummerSlam when he came
Yeah.
in to beat Honky Tonk Man. But I also remember, you're bringing back memories to me now. The whole Royal Rumble setup for Mania with Hogan versus Warrior when they
Yes.
were like, and
That
I'm
was
just
it.
like, as a little kid, like, oh my God, it's just them two in the ring. Just a little tease they gave us. And then
Yeah.
the build up to WrestleMania, like, yeah, like that was really an awesome time for wrestling too.
Yeah, they did that
Wow.
perfect.
So Warrior and Hogan are some of your favorites.
Yeah.
Then what are some of your other standout moments from going forward? Did you ever take a break from watching wrestling?
I think, yeah, definitely after, after The Rock and Stone Cold, kind of disappeared from wrestling. I kind of did the same. I think UFC kind of caught my eye at the time. Obviously, I'm a little bit older at that time.
Sounds like you and Chad are going down the same road.
Yeah, yeah. So mid to not that I was like, oh, wrestling's fake. I don't want to watch it anymore. Just the the characters, the storylines didn't really draw me in like they did before. And I think sometimes when you like something or you love something, you let it go. And if that type of thing, if it comes back to you, then it was meant to be type of thing. So
Yeah.
that was my idea. It was just like, you know what, I'll just venture off into this UFC thing. And I really got into UFC like when the Ultimate Fighter came around. That was like I was gone. I was like not watching wrestling ever again. I think I would like catch it here and there because they were doing like the lead-ins for I think Raw was on like TNN at the time. Do you remember that like weird
Yeah.
like channel that came out? And, like they would do like the lead-ins for the U because the UFC or the Ultimate Fighter was on that same, and then they switched over to I forget the name of the
Spike
station, but
TV? Was it
Spike
Spike?
TV. Yes,
Yeah.
they switched over to that, and like that was kind of like the thing, and that caught my eye, so started watching UFC. And when did I get back into wrestling? I think I would dabble here and there, but I wasn't really into it. But I fully got back into it when CM Punk started, um, just from like following him on the Indies and stuff like that, and him making his way to the WWE. This is long hair CM Punk, not
Yeah.
pipe bomb CM Punk, but long hair, long scraggly hair CM Punk, like him coming into to the WWE at the time. That caught my eye, and just like just him stepping in, I figured they're going to start bringing in a lot more, indie type of wrestlers and stuff like that, which they did.
They did.
You like the
Absolutely.
Daniel Bryans after that and all that stuff. So, but yeah, no, he pretty much CM Punk brought me back into the mix of things when I was away from wrestling.
CM Punk, man, that his first. I mean, I know he doesn't acknowledge his WWE run back then now, but there was some great work by him back then. He was so good. He had some matches back then. Even some of his matches with Cena was just so amazing.
Oh
You
yeah,
could see.
he gave he gave Cena what his like first 5-star match. I believe Dave Meltzer gave. I think it was I think it was what Monday Night Raw it was.
He
And I
won.
remember watching that match, and I was like, "Holy crap!" I was like, "This is probably like the best match I've ever seen John Cena in." Like just to pull, obviously 5 moves of doom and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
for a guy like CM Punk to pull out, different move sets for Cena to do, like Cena had to pull out of go into the toolbox and start pulling out different things to use in the match with CM Punk, and that shows you right there that you said he doesn't like to acknowledge his time with WWE now, but he was a force in the WWE at the time. He's longest reigning modern champion right now. I mean, well, obviously Roman Reigns is kind of creeping up on that, but he held that belt for a long ass time, and he fought like I seen a thing he defended like 141 times or something like that while he had the title for
Wow.
those 4 and some odd days. I forget the number, but yeah, he's like I said, he brought me back into the love of like watching WWE at the time because he was kind of like that, like kind of gateway from Stone Cold, like that like rebel type of character and stuff like that, and that's what brought me back in.
And I think that's the reason why. Like, I love CM Punk. I love Danny Bryan. I love
Yep.
Kevin Owens. And I think, and it's so funny because I never really followed the indies, but I was always attracted to those guys that all came from the indies.
Yeah.
And it must be like their love, like they just shine through to me. Like CM Punk wanted to make WWE better than what it was. He wanted to
Yep.
acknowledge the wrestling, and it's a shame they didn't listen to him back then. The voice of the voiceless, like it's so
Yep.
perfect. You remember the night after WrestleMania, him coming out and bringing Daniel Bryan to the ring, and he had Zack Ryder in the ring.
Oh
And look,
yeah, that's
we're
right. Yep.
bringing the young guys out there. That's all he ever wanted to do, and He
Yeah.
fought tooth and nail to try and get it done, and unfortunately, they didn't listen to him. So, what are you thinking of his return to AEW? Let's discuss that a little bit.
Oh man, I mean, I love it. Especially this past Friday with which I've been waiting for, like Eddie Kingston and him having that promo in the ring it was everything I like dreamed it was going to be, pretty much. Like, just, Eddie Kingston can hold his own on the microphone, and you want to see someone, not that people are beneath CM Punk on the microphone, but like, Eddie Kingston's at that level. If you're going to put someone in the ring with CM Punk on the microphone, it's either going to be like someone like Taz, but obviously Taz is, he's retired now, so he can't, get physical. But the second best would be, I mean, you could say Cody, but I'm not sure how good he is off the cuff with that type of thing. I know he likes to write his promos out and things like that, but you get a guy like Dean Ambrose, or not Dean Ambrose, but John Moxley, which he would have been able to do it, obviously. But you get Eddie Kingston in the ring with them, and it's magic, and they definitely proved it. And right now, I mean, I like how he's being booked personally. He's not, he's not like forced into the main event scene. He's kind of like playing the fence, just hanging out, like, taking matches on here and there. Building up that win streak, because the record does matter. You do have to have a good win-loss record to get a shot at the title. So I think they're playing it right. And obviously he's older now. He's not going to be able to, like, do the stuff he did years ago. So I mean, I think they're trying to, like, preserve him for those, like, big pay-per-views and maybe like rampages and stuff like that. Because I've seen a thing where he said he really doesn't want to do the AEW, like the Dynamites. He wants to do like the Rampage shows, just to draw eyes to the Rampage product, because you already have literally everyone's on Dynamite anyway, so you don't need CM Punk on Dynamite Wrestling. You can literally put anyone else out there. You have Daniel Bryan now. You have Adam Cole. You have obviously Kenny Omega. You have all these guys that are big draws. MJF. So you don't need a CM Punk. You need a CM Punk on Rampage, where it's not like it's their kind of like B show. And I love how he's doing that. I love how he's kind of being, selfless in that sense, letting the other names get the bigger shine on the main show, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of confused by that. I like that he's doing that, but I think he needs to have a couple more matches on Dynamite. Like,
yeah,
be more so on Rampage, but I think it would also help Dynamite to have him there. Just mix it up a little bit. Like, it seems like even, Danielson, I always get confused. I want to call him Bryanson. Like, just hot wire my head or something. I seem like he's more on Rampage, even though he shows up on Dynamite too. It seems like those two are forced more to Rampage.
Yeah, I think it's like a kind of like a divide and conquer type of thing. It seems like for me anyway, instead of putting all three of those guys on Dynamite and then not having them on Rampage, kind of, takes the viewership away. Like, who could you really put on Rampage for that time frame, for that 1 hour? Like, I know that you had that. I know Daniel Bryan was on. I like how they kind of like mixing it up. You'll see like one of them on. I think that week that Daniel Bryan was on, wasn't CM Punk on that Wednesday night?
Yes.
Yeah. So like they kind of like switch it. They're not kind of like stepping on each other's, and they're gonna cross paths at some point. And that's
I would love to see just one Wednesday night, have them both show up on Dynamite for a match and just see if it affects the ratings at all. I'm just curious.
It definitely would. Like, if you put all three of those guys on the show, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that's definitely going to crush a lot of things during the week in ratings.
Yeah. So do you notice you grew up Southern wrestling, and I did watch some of it back then, and I've went back and watched some of the tapes. You see some of that style in AEW now.
Yeah, it's a kind of like rough around the edges type of deal. That's what I like to call, like, one of the matches I always go back to is JYD, and I believe Dusty Rhodes was a guest referee, and I think he faced Butch Reed. And just that match right there, it just reminded me of just the way it was booked, and obviously Dusty was involved. It just reminded me of like how AEW like plays out their matches now, like you said, like it just seems raw and real. Like, they have like it's wrestling. It's nothing showboaty about it. It's not, the production doesn't matter. It's the two guys in the ring and what they're able to do and how they're able to captivate the fans. And I think that's that's something that I drew from when I watched Southern Wrestling is, the fans are involved. The fans are like, obviously the fans are always going to be a part of the show, but the fans are like into it. Like they were behind their guy. Like we always talk about this on the show when we bring up JYD. He was literally like Hogan. Like he was like neck and neck in popularity with Hogan. Like people were just on their feet the whole time he was in the ring. And that's what you see with AEW. Like you see the fans on their feet. Doesn't matter who's in the ring. It could be anybody. I mean, we'll bring it down a little bit, but it could be a majority of the AEW roster could be out in that ring, and the fans are always on their feet and they're always involved. And I think that's something that that reminds me of what I watched when I was a kid, watching, like you said, Southern Wrestling, AWA, Mid South, NWA. Like it seems more intimate as well. The intimacy of those older, like you said, wrestling tapes or watching any of the old stuff. It seems like like the crowd's a part of it. Like they're like a family. They're not just there to watch a show. They're there. They're brought in as like a family member watching their family member wrestling in the ring, essentially. So that's what it seems like to me. It seems like AEW, as far as like the talent involved as well as the fans, they're all together. Like they're all, obviously they go to different cities and stuff like that, but it just seems like it's more of like a family oriented like product, essentially, to me anyway.
I've been to 2 AEW shows and both crowds, and I've been to a lot of WWE shows, but the experience just with the crowd was something different that I've never experienced at WWE shows.
Yep.
I grew up going to Madison Square Garden to see WWF house shows and stuff, and I've been to Raws and whatever throughout the area. It was never that unity of fans together. Instead, there was always fist fights breaking out in the stands, especially at the Garden. At the AEW show, like the people you were next to just instantly became friends. The people in front of you, the people behind you. I ran into Dusty Rhodes guy at the AEW show. I see him 2 weeks later. He remembers me.
Oh, nice.
And we just bumped into each other when I went to, I forgot, the wrestling convention here in Jersey, where I got to see Tommy End. And he just instantly, he's like, dude, I made you famous because we were on a screen together.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And now I have his number and we communicate, and I'm trying to get him on here. So hopefully
that's awesome.
That soon, because he's got some great Dusty Rhodes stories to tell.
That's great. I went to their first Boston show that they had when they started Dynamite. I think it was it was actually the third ever episode.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken. Definitely just the crowd. That was the I think they played on AEW Dark. It was they had a dark match, and it was Kenny Omega versus Joey Janela in a non-sanctioned match, like a hardcore match.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. But like like you said, the atmosphere, just the fans. Like I said, I don't think I sat down once that whole 2 hours, or actually 3 hours, because we were there for the AEW Dark taping as well. But I don't think I sat down once. I think I was on my feet the whole time I was there. Just that crowd was electric.
The passion. It's just passionate people who love wrestling, and it's just great. Like I said, I drove out to Chicago to see CM Punk come back. I don't know if anything can ever top that. Just being in that building. But again, it was one big family there. Just walking into Newark that day, just random different people. It wasn't even the same person. Just certain people just yelling out Adam Cole, and everybody responding, "Baby!" Like, it was just a fun experience. Like at the bar across the street before we went in, they're playing all the theme songs there. They're playing Judas, and everybody's singing along. I put a video up of that on my social media. It was just like, listen, if you're listening to this show and you haven't been to an AEW show, make an effort to go. Trust me, you won't regret it. It'll be a fun night, definitely, no matter what. It's definitely good. So what is some of your favorite matches? Let's talk about matches. Our favorite first, go with matches. Name a couple of your favorites. Go-tos that you'll still go back to and watch.
So many. Definitely Shawn Michaels, Mankind, In Your House, Mind Games.
Ooh,
if you want to see Shawn Michaels, like if you want to see like kind of like the early stages of like kind of like WWF attitude when they were like starting to build up, just like it got hardcore as soon as Mick Foley stepped foot into the WWF. it was hardcore heaven for WWE. They were doing some stuff that like you never seen before. Obviously you see it all the time now, but like when he set foot in there, they're crashing through tables, and everyone was doing it at that time. Definitely, I mean, another Shawn Michaels one, a classic. Hell in a Cell, the very first one with the Undertaker.
The one that kind of put his career on hold for a while.
Mess up his back, yeah. And let's see. You gotta go. I mean, everyone kind of like hates this one. WrestleMania 17, Rock Stone Cold. That
People
goes.
Hate that one?
Well, not hate it, but I think some people think it's over. Not the match, but the actual event itself. Like WrestleMania 17 is like because they say that's the best WrestleMania ever. But the card, not so. It doesn't like really say it, but that match, Rock Stone Cold, definitely nothing beats that as well. WrestleMania 6, like I mentioned before, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. Let me see. I'm going to go back a little bit. Obviously, this is a classic. Macho Man and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, WrestleMania 3. Only because I go back and watch it because obviously that set the standard for a lot of, like little guys that you see wrestling now. And during the biography, it made me go back and watch it again because the Macho Man biography that A&E had, they had Ricky Dragon Steamboat on there, and they were talking about a rumor. Like Hogan was like, "Yeah, I heard a rumor that Macho and Steamboat were saying like, yeah, we're gonna steal the show. We're gonna go out there because we're the little guys. We're not Hogan, Andre. We're the little guys. We gotta stick out." And so he's like, and Steamboat was like, "Yeah, we made a pact, me and Macho Man. We're like, yeah, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna take it. We're gonna be the best match on that whole show." And Hogan was like, "Yeah, I didn't believe they would do that," but he's like, "You better believe." As people talk about that, I mean, people talk about the Slam, obviously, but they talk about that match more. That match stands the test of time. I mean, obviously that one Slam's going to stand the test of time, but that match is like the blueprint for a lot of the guys you see now watch that match, like the Shawn Michaels, the Bret Harts, and all those guys. That paved the way for those guys, and they don't have to be the biggest, tallest guys, but they can still outperform if they need to and be the show stealers essentially.
I can watch that match all day, every day, and not get tired of it.
And Macho Man's one of my favorites too.
Me too.
He was awesome. If you ever watch his, I'm not sure if it's on Peacock yet, but they have I think it's like the best of Macho Man or one of those like DVDs that they put on the Peacock. So like, there's a lot of they used to travel through Boston a lot because my uncle, my father would take me to the Garden. Not the obviously Madison Square Garden, but Boston Garden, at the time before it was TD Garden, and they used to travel through. I think it was either like a 4 or 5 month span. They would just like run through Boston Garden all the time. So if you see a lot of those old matches, like it'll always say Boston Garden, like they were there frequently, and just seeing Macho Man there. When he was a heel, he was awesome. He would never get in the ring. First and foremost, he would take forever to take his robe off when he was a heel. He would walk around the ring. Like he would never get in the ring with the guy. He was like, I loved it. People would get pissed off. They'd be like throwing stuff at him. So get the hell in the ring. But then he like melted off the fans and all that stuff. But yeah, like I had some great memories at the Boston Garden. I seen a lot of stuff there. I seen the infamous Ultimate Warrior Andre the Giant squash match. It was like 2 seconds long. Yeah, it was basically he came out, music was still playing, beat him up a little bit, and then ran out and his music was still playing. That's how fast it was. So yeah,
they did that run around the whole loop.
Yeah, pretty much. He ran out, pinned Andre, then ran back out while his music was still on. So
well, back in the 80s, they used to do their loop. And they would make monthly appearances at Madison Square Garden, the Boston Garden, the Spectrum. And it would be like the set of 3. Hogan would fight, say, Big John Studd the first month, and it'd be a count out. Then the next month, it would be disqualification. And then the following month, it's going to be, I think with Big John Studd, I actually remember it being if Hogan was counted out or disqualified, Big John Studd would win the title. It'd always be the third match would be the gimmick match to end the series. And then the new series would start after that. I remember just as a kid, I had the MSG network, so I got to watch them all, and go
That's
to them.
awesome.
So yeah, and that's why like the Coliseum videos, a lot of people don't realize those matches are just from the house shows.
Yeah, like
And
I
they had
said.
announcers set up there, and that's what would
Yep.
also be the Monday night primetime wrestling. Primetime wrestling would just be matches from
Yeah.
those shows.
Yep.
So and it wasn't even the A matches; those were always like the B matches from those shows. It was never the main event. So that would you
Yeah.
see on primetime wrestling.
Yeah, like I said, if
So
you watch any of those Coliseum videos, you'll see like they'll put like the
yes,
the date and the Coliseum that they're at, and it's literally
yep,
always like either New York or Boston. You'll see it
yeah.
frequently throughout. Now, I
And I
was at a
believe
lot of those shows actually, so
is
I
the
have a
Boston
yeah.
Garden the one place where WWF used to have the lifted ramp to the ring?
Um,
I remember seeing that on the Coliseum videos, and I believe that was
no,
No, it
it
wasn't
was
Boston.
no, it was a straight walk to the ring. It was just like nothing. It was nothing raised or anything like that. It was just
I gotta go back and look and see what arena
yeah.
used to do that for WWF, and I wonder why, because they never would really do that.
Yeah, no,
So
it was like it was like a big entranceway. That's basically where like the all the like the Celtics and all of them would come out. That's
yeah,
where they would the wrestlers would come out. And we used to try to get seats like directly across so you can see them come out because they had it like pretty much perfect, like straight way right to the ring, and then the steps would be on the side, and you could just literally, like I said, watch a Macho Man just walk around mouth off to people, not want to get in the ring and wrestle the guy, and use Elizabeth, grab her, and put him all that type of
yeah,
stuff. Yeah, so
yep.
yeah, that was a like I said, just bringing back memories. I could talk about this stuff all night.
Oh, I get it, man. I definitely get it because I'm thinking back now, talking about you're talking about the Southern wrestling. I remember anytime I would see something from there, it always felt like an event. Like you said,
Yes,
it always felt special. And even WrestleManias, like they had a WrestleMania feel. But going back to the Southern matches and the Southern, it always felt like a big event, like it was a sports
yeah.
spectacle, more so than what WWF ever felt like.
Oh no, it was serious. That's why it was like treated as like a sport, kind of how like how New Japan is. They have like they have their like after interviews and all that stuff. They post shows and all that
Yeah.
stuff. It was no, it was treated like I said. People would get like beat up. They would try to beat up the wrestlers, and like the fans would try to like I mean, if you listen to any of those like podcasts where like wrestlers are talking about back in the day, they'll tell you about that stuff. But yeah, like they were really into it. Like I was really into it. My father was really into it. Like if you had a guy that you were backing and you were a fan of his, you'd jump in the ring if you needed to and try to take out the other guy. If you ever watch like even like Jerry the King Lawler, like he
Yeah.
was like famous for that type of stuff, just like getting the fans all like pissed off and things, and fighting with fans and all that stuff. So yeah, it's yeah, that's what I think like how AEW is, like, just to bring it back, like it's that same connection with the talent and stuff like that. You just, if you're a fan of somebody, or you're not even a fan of that one person, you're just a fan of everybody, essentially. You're a fan of the organization. And
That's again, you go to AEW show, you watch an AEW show, you hear them chant AEW. Have you
yeah,
ever heard fans chant WWE,
nope.
WWF?
Dub,
So
no, not even close. Never. I don't
no,
think I've ever heard of that at
no.
all.
I mean, I have an AEW shirt. I've never bought a shirt that just said WWF on it or WWE on it.
No, probably.
And
Yeah, I never either. Yeah, I mean, it always reminds me of like ECW too, like
yes,
the
exactly.
ECW, like that fan base is
Dub.
like they're legit a family. Like I think you would see the same people every single show at
Yes,
that at the
100%.
Hammerstein Ballroom.
Well, Justin Roberts was talking when I was at one of the events, and he's looking around. He's like, "Again, I see same faces here, time after time." He recognizes the faces. So, I mean,
Yeah, it's
it's a
awesome.
passionate crowd. Is AEW coming back to you anytime soon?
They were just here, I think earlier. Was it in October they were here, but I didn't get to go to
Yeah.
that show. But yeah, they it was postponed from, I think it was supposed to be in May of this
Oh,
year, but
okay.
they ended up postponing it till October or something like that. Yeah, I missed out on tickets and stuff like that, and I was like, damn it. But
I'm so
yeah,
excited. I see they're coming back again to the Prudential Center in Newark, and I think the first show that's going to be aired on TBS. Tickets go on
awesome.
sale Friday, so I'm wondering what they're gonna do for that show. Like, I'm sure they have something planned.
Oh yeah,
So I think I'm gonna have
I
to
wouldn't
try and
doubt
talk
it.
my wife into going to that show. I think that'll be maybe that can be a Christmas gift. You know?
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Don't
I
give me
mean,
anything else. Just give me tickets, and we'll.
well, I know some of the things she already got me, so I've been giving her. She keeps asking for things, and I keep telling her wrestling figures. So let's talk about you're a collector, also. You
Yes.
know, when did you first start collecting? What's the first figure you remember buying or getting as a kid?
Oh man. First figure ever. That's not even
Yeah,
wrestling. Just any figure at all.
yeah. Let's go any figure first.
I think that I mean my first is definitely He-Man. Was it for like the
Ah,
original He-Man
yeah.
figures and stuff like that. And then obviously evolved into GI Joes and Transformers, and then obviously wrestling with LJNs. I still have my I have two Hogans. I have my original Hogan that's like all beat up, and then
Yeah.
I have a newer one that I bought that's a little bit more minty than that
I
one
need
there.
to
But
upgrade my Hogan. I need to upgrade my Hogan.
yep,
I have.
um,
Where'd it go? Is it over here? Oh yeah. I finally, after many many years, I got this last year.
oh awesome, that's sick.
So I was dying for this one, and I spent the money last year on it. And if I'm gonna get them, like my goal is to complete the black card set because as a kid, I remember them only being in a magazine and going to my parents and saying, "I want these,"
Yeah,
and I just remember my mom saying, "Those are too expensive. You have enough," and I never got them. So thanks, mom. Now I'm spending $500 or $600 in figures to complete the set. And I'm doing it slowly. So far, I got this Hogan, I got this Warrior, I need Blackstrap Andre, I need them all.
yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
just,
I have a.
I wish I did it 5 years ago.
I
But
know. Where'd you get that one from? The that
uh,
Hogan.
the LJN Whisperer.
Oh, that's I was gonna say that. If you're gonna get LJNs, there's only one person you
So
go
I got the
to.
Warrior from too. So
That's what I got. I got my warrior from the Whisper as well, Zoro
yeah,
Mendez. But
Zoro
yes,
Mendez on Instagram.
yeah, no, he's amazing. That guy. I
I
don't know
just
how he does it.
recently upgraded my Lou Albano LJN to a minty
Really,
one he had. Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
he
So
I ended up buying a the WCW Bash at the Beach '96. They had these like these rubber coasters that were like in the shape of a shark mouth,
oh
so you
wow.
could put like your drink in the shark's mouth. He had them brand new. Like
Wow.
I think he travels back in time or something. I'm not sure what he does. This guy's a mystery. I'm not sure how
He
he.
doesn't and he finds these figures like these LJNs in like such prestigious condition.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean I think he has a DeLorean or something, and I think he's traveling back in time to get these things. It has to be. There's no other explanation for it. But yeah.
I agree.
Just to continue on. Yeah. LJNs obviously Hasbro's. Um,
Yeah.
don't have any of my. Well, I have some Hasbro's. Not all of my Hasbro's that I had before. Um, I have some classic superstars as well.
I
From
sold all
Jack's
mine.
Classic. Oh no, I have the one I actually rebought again was the Montreal Screwjob
Oh wow.
ringside exclusive. So that was pretty awesome. But yeah, I have a couple of those. I have a bunch of Ultimate Warrior Jack's Classics. I have Junkyard Dog. That was my father's favorite wrestler. So I have Junkyard Dog Jack's Classics. I have pretty much not the new elites for Junkyard Dog. I'm still looking for those. But
You didn't get them yet?
no, not yet. No.
I just got the Chase.
How's it looking blue? I kind of want. Is it like?
It's still in the package. I gotta open it.
Oh, you gotta crack that open.
Yeah.
But yeah. Other than that, I mean, a lot of my collection I sold off. Like I think a lot of people do that. Like earlier in their like in their lives, they just go, I don't need this anymore. And they get rid of them, and
Well,
then
I still have I have every LJN up until the black card from when I was a kid. I bought
really,
every one, and I still
wow,
have them all. Some of them are in better condition than others. Of course, the earlier ones got played with more.
yeah,
Then when they switched over to Hasbro's, and I'm used to playing with figures this size, and they
yeah,
give me like a little thing that's like that big, and I felt like
yeah,
it was just unplayable with. I'm like, and again, that's just the generation I came from. I
yeah,
tapped out on the Hasbro's, and Classic Superstars is what got me back in.
yep.
And then when Jax lost the license, I'm like, "Ugh, I don't want to start over again." And then I started over again about maybe a year and a half later. I so regret not starting from the beginning because I missed the whole first defining moments line.
Oh yeah, yeah, me too. Yeah,
Oh, I wish I was collecting, and now I'm just in, and I went right straight to Jazzwares. I'm in with AEW, but now I'm being more picky. I'm not get. I've kind of set rules for myself now, and
yep,
I never had
same
rules
here.
before. I love the legends. Any flashback figures. First time in a line, I'll do a
Okay,
guy first time in a line, and a gimmick change. So like Roman Reigns, head of the table. I needed one of those.
yep.
So
Yeah, no, it's that. I mean, I think obviously like as you get older and you're collecting, you're more if especially if you're not a completionist, like you don't want the whole set of something. You have the freedom to pick and choose what you want for like. So for me right now with AEW, I have pretty much every single series. So I have like what are they on 7 now? On
yeah,
the
you know
for
what?
yeah
I think around series 4, I said I'm not going to be a completist, but I
yeah
still have bought every single one, and I haven't stopped yet.
yeah
You know,
same here.
it's like the
um,
FOMO. It's like right at the end, like every time I'm like, I need to get these. Like I don't have them.
yeah
So I
yeah.
love the Unmatched series 1. Those
Oh
were
my god. Yes.
amazing. Bravo to
Especially
Magic for that set, man.
yeah, especially to bring back the what we talked about earlier, the LJNs. Cody
Yeah, I love
LJN
that
was in
Cody
there.
figure.
Yeah, it's all pretty sexy and that like you said that unmatched Kenny Omega is insane. That's probably I mean
His tights. Oh my god.
awesome. I
Amazing figure. That might be the best, one of the best, maybe the best, arguable best Jazzwares figure yet. That Kenny Omega.
yeah, no, definitely the detail, the head sculpt, the like the body
Yeah,
detail and everything. The like you said, the gear. I mean, his gear is always on point. Anyway, he's super toyetic when it comes to that stuff.
yeah, but they
But
did the face paint technology on the pants, and it just made that
yeah,
figure so awesome.
yeah, and the
Um,
Darby Allin's awesome in that as well with
yeah,
the
he is.
the forest paint that he has on the side of his chest.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's and then the even his face paint has like the little tree.
yep.
If you look at it, which is pretty awesome. And
The
he has the
detail on those figures,
yeah,
man. Magic knocks it out of the park. He's got to start
insane.
doing both lines.
Oh
That's
yeah,
all
no,
I'm saying.
definitely. Yeah, that's. I mean, I have the unmatched line, so I mean, I don't want to like go too like far into a rabbit hole. I do have every single ringside exclusive AEW as well. So
I do too, but
yeah.
unfortunately, I have two of each. Um,
Oh damn. Yeah, I only have
yeah.
one of each. I have
I need to have one. Here's the thing, though. I buy them both because I like to have loose and I like
yeah.
to have it mint. And then I get it, and the packaging is so nice, I can't open either of them.
Yeah, especially like the Jurassic Express. Like you
Yes.
don't have to technically open that because
Yeah, you're right.
they're positioned in the right way and the that box
Yeah.
is huge. And you can
And the
just open it up
TNT
and
Cody,
the
TNT
TNT
champion,
Cody's really good as well.
the Blood Brothers. I can't wait to get the Britt
Yeah.
Baker.
The
Oh,
Britt Baker's going to be awesome. The did you get the authentic scale ring with Ref Aubrey or did you get
that's
that yet
one
or
of the
no?
things my wife has got me for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
I won't be getting it till Christmas. And I think like I have the original TNT ring with Omega not opened, and I don't think I'm
Yeah.
gonna open that. I believe I have to open this one.
Yeah, I mean
So,
it's a double or nothing ring skirts too. So I mean
yeah.
it's technically different, but yeah, they just I mean they like I said, Ringside knocked it out of the park with the exclusives for
Yeah.
AEW. So
Well,
I'm
the original ring, from what I understand, that's gonna be the only ring that has the TNT turnbuckles on it.
oh really?
Yeah, so
Huh. I
keep that
mean
one mint in box.
I mean they're gonna be switching over to TBS too, so they're gonna have to change up all that stuff
Yeah,
at some point, which is
it's gonna be interesting.
yeah.
Did you get the new Gen Arena?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Yep.
How many did you get? Just one?
I only got one. Yeah. I
You're a
wasn't gonna go
smart
too
man.
crazy with it. Yeah.
You're a
Did you do
smart
it
man.
or
Oh yeah.
yes? 4 of them? Wow.
Yeah. Well, two of them are kind of free. I use my American Express reward dollars.
Okay.
So
I mean
then one of them I
that
bought, and
helps.
then one of them I said to my mom, "Hey, you want to get me this for Christmas next year?" So, so I don't know.
I mean, it's a good deal. I mean,
Listen, if I decide I don't need four, I definitely need two. One mint on card and one to open and display.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lose money on those rings. With that
Oh
limited
no,
edition
definitely
Macho
not.
Man Ultimate Edition.
Oh, especially
Yeah.
especially if you go on eBay, you can. I'm kind of curious to see what they're gonna go for.
Dude, there's
When they
going to be,
do.
I wonder how many are going to be out there being sold.
I mean, if you go on right now, there's a lot of pre-orders like on eBay now. Like people are putting their pre-orders up.
Wow.
So, and they're already at obviously like thousands of dollars. So, yeah, that's
I'm
pretty
so
insane.
excited about the future of crowdfunding now that we got this.
Yeah,
To see what we'll get.
I'm taking. I think I said on the show. I'm kind of taking credit for the final for the finish line of that of the because I think a lot of people. So that the day that it was like, I think it was like the last day of it or something like that, and
Yeah.
a lot of people were tweeting like, "Hey, we need to get this going." And I think I was like one of the last people that like I put like a Bitly link for the page. I was like, "Hey, make sure you click this. Let's get this going." As soon as that happened, like it hit the goal, and then it hit the next few goals after that. Like it kept on going.
Yeah.
Like the
I
doink
remember that.
happened.
I remember that day. I was tweeting it, and I'm like, and I'm telling people, and I was talking with Steve Ozer about it. I'm like, dude, if it hits this by this time,
Yeah.
I said we're gonna get everything, and it hit that by that time, and it just exploded from there.
Yeah. So I was like, I kept
So
track.
if it was you, thank you, Marco.
Yes, I
Because
mean,
I wanted it all. I
I'm gonna
wanted the
take
ring
it.
skirts.
Yeah, I'm taking unofficial credit for it, but
Yeah.
no, they.
I'll give it to you. I'm just happy we got it. That's all I care about. So if it
Oh,
was
man.
thanks to you, I'm super happy. Listen, Steve and Robert, they work their butts off going on every single podcast and doing
Oh yeah,
everything they possibly can. Like I'm so excited to see this thing. I can't wait the day I get it. And I did the 2-day shipping. I'm like $25, 2-day shipping. Of course I'm paying that.
yeah, it's not
Like
bad
it
at
wasn't
all.
even overpriced. Like so
So
the
what do you?
day it arrives, I'll be opening it live and streaming it as I
Oh
put it
yeah,
together.
definitely. A lot. I mean, I'm expecting to see a lot of people live unboxing and all that stuff. But
Yep.
let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Since you like the crowdfunding thing, what do you want to see next from WWE Mattel for their next crowdfunding? Since this pretty much like smash it out of the park.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you what I don't want to see next first. And I'm probably gonna get a lot of people hating me for this. I don't care about the SmackDown fist. I don't need that.
No,
I would love a Hell in a Cell.
that would
Like
be
a
awesome.
really nice Hell in a Cell, or a real and maybe okay if you want to give me a SmackDown stage, like I would love a really nice design stage,
Yeah.
not a cheap stage. Like I think that would be awesome. You could give me also the Elimination Chamber.
Oh, that'd be pretty sick too.
Yeah, like there's any like Hell in a Cell. Just I love cells, so steel cages and stuff like that. But
I'm thinking I want like one of the old school like set designs that they used to do. Like each pay-per-view had their own like distinguished
ooh,
hook. Like remember Backlash used to have those like big
yeah,
hooks swinging back and
yeah.
forth and all that type of stuff. And like,
Oh
Royal
wow,
Rumble, was it Royal Rumble 2000 with there it was at Madison Square Garden, right? It was Royal
yeah,
Rumble
yeah. Yes, it
2000
was. Yes, it
and that
was.
entranceway with the taxi cab, like something
Yes.
like a recreation exactly of those like
Wow,
one of
that'd
those
be
sets would be
amazing.
pretty awesome, I think.
Something like
But
that would be awesome. And here's the exciting thing: we already have the ring now, so they don't need to do another ring. They
yeah,
could just give us new parts to tool this ring to make it look differently.
yeah, yep,
And all the money that you're paying could be focused on the stage to be a more detailed stage, to be more
yeah,
detailed accessories. So I'm
yeah,
excited for what the future holds. I know they know already what next year's is going to be. I can't wait to hear what it is.
yeah. I'm curious.
And I'm going to make my prediction right now for what next year's Comic-Con exclusive is going to be.
Huh.
Okay. My prediction is going to be Mr. America.
You think that's going to be the Mattel?
Comic-Con WWE.
Oh, the
exclusive.
SDCC. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I could see that happening. That was yeah. He's due.
Yeah,
He's
I
due for
think
a
that'll be
figure.
next year. They're releasing Hogan left and right now. It seems like the perfect Comic-Con, the SDCC exclusive.
Yeah,
So,
and then we'll get the Mattel Creations the next one that they're coming out with, which I'm also super excited to see.
now my idea for that is don't do that at Comic-Con. There's so much money being spent at Comic-Con. You
Yeah,
have to have it on display at Access where people who don't collect are walking by and say, wow, that's cool. Somebody who would normally never buy it would have iPads right there for them to sign up. Because if they
yeah,
go home, they're going to forget. Do it
yep,
right there.
yep.
I think that would be amazing. I
That's
think
actually, yeah,
that
it's a good idea actually.
so. I think it would do much better if they didn't release it. Like it's going to reach the goal. It's going to be like this year. People wait till last minute to do everything. I
Yeah,
wasn't surprised when that happened. Like, and I'm guilty of that too. I mean, I ordered that ring earlier, the new gen ring, but I knew a lot of people didn't because a lot of people are buying the Ghostbusters stuff or the Star Wars stuff. So, like, I knew that ring was gonna hit the goal at least to 5,000. Um, so I was just, I think they have to do it at Access, have it set up so people walking by see it and want it. People who
yeah.
don't collect. Oh my God, look at that Hell in a Cell. I need that. That's cool.
That'd be
Like,
awesome.
listen, as wrestling fans, I think wrestling fans almost more than anyone else, when you go out and you see figures, like there's something that just attracts you to it that makes you want it. And
Yeah,
seeing like rings and stuff like that,
yep.
these cool things that you don't normally see, it's just something about collecting and wrestling fans go together.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, if I have like, you're just a collector and like I'm a collector just in general. I collect
Me
not just
too.
figures. I collect like everything. I'm like a memorabilia collector too. So I mean, it doesn't stop with with figures for me. And yeah, you're right.
Me
If
too.
you're just a collector and that's in your blood, and you see something
Yeah.
cool like that, maybe you did watch wrestling like back in the Attitude Era or even before, and you're like walking by and you end up seeing like you see like maybe the like you said Hell in a Cell cage or something like that. It's the
Yeah.
actual metal chain link and everything. You're like, oh my god, that'd be cool to have like a display piece. But I think with that, you have to carry on tradition, and when you add an ultimate, you have to add ultimate figures to it, and obviously
hundred percent.
you have to add
Undertaker and
ultimate
Mankind.
edition. Yeah, you have to maybe add the commentator table where it
I was
breaks
just gonna
away.
say,
Yeah,
is that one of the next levels, the commentator table?
it has. I
Then
mean, it
maybe you
has to
add
be.
Shawn Michaels as another level.
Yeah, that'll be the
From the
next
first.
level. Will be Shawn Michaels because he was, and then maybe the next level that'd be like another Ultimate Edition Kane or something like that because he was a part of that too as
Ooh,
well.
that's
Um,
right.
so
That's right.
who knows?
Wow. So many options. When did you first realize you were a collector? Like if you look back now, like as a kid you might not have known it, but do you
Yeah,
look back now and say, "Wow, as a kid I was a collector because I saved this"? Because I know my first thing.
yeah. Mine. I mean, mine was baseball. Not really baseball cards. More basketball cards,
Okay.
and football cards, and obviously comic books was a huge thing. That one of the things I always regret is getting rid of my comic book collection that I had. That I was
Uh,
kicked myself in the butt about that. But yeah, just even just like magazines. Like I would see like a cool magazine and
that's what I
like
was
a
gonna say.
collect.
I still have these saved from when I was a kid. I still have TV Guide saved
Yeah,
from when
like
I was a
stuff like
kid.
yeah, yep,
I still have full preview editions from like the 1980s that I love TV Guide as a kid. I have all the WWF magazines saved from when I was a kid,
yep.
all other wrestling magazines saved. So I look back now and I'm like, damn, I was a collector back then. And
Oh yeah,
luckily, my mom held on for me when I told her, don't get rid of this. Now, when I bought my house years ago, all of a sudden, every time my mom visits, she was coming with boxes out of her attics of my stuff, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "This has been in my attic for years. You have a house now."
yeah. Just
So then I had to start finding room in my house for this stuff. But, it is what it is.
yeah. I think, like I
Mhm.
said, it starts young. Like it's not as like a obviously it's not as crazy now because obviously when you're young you don't have any money to buy things, so you just
Yeah,
like picking up things here and there. Even with toys, like just collecting toys, just like not even throwing them away, just keeping them somewhere and you're not getting rid of them.
and
That's
it's
I
said
mean,
it's being lucky enough that my mom kept all my LJNs for me,
yeah,
that I
that's
still have
super
them.
lucky.
Because some people you talk to other people and they're like, "Oh, no, my mom threw away my baseball cards or my figures," or what I
Yeah.
wish I still had, I collected the League of Justice and all the Super Friends
Oh,
from
really?
the
Awesome.
cartoon, and I don't have them anymore, and I'm so sad about that, and I'm scared to go on eBay and see how much they cost.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely,
I
definitely
wish
not.
I yeah, I
Yeah,
wish I still had them.
I used to have the X-Men figures. I think they came out like in the 90s. I forget I'm not sure what company it was, but like the Wolverine had like a retractable like claw. You would like pull it back, and it would lock in, and then you can press it, and it would pop out and stuff like that. There was a Cyclops that had like a light that you could press, and his eyes would light up and all that stuff. There was a bunch of like I have no clue what I did with them, but I wish I had all those old X-Men figures from back in the day. I would have been so mad. I don't know what happened to him. I honestly don't. But yeah, even like I said, I was a huge comic book collector. So obviously you collect comic books, and then they come out with the figures, and huge Batman fan. So I had like when the first Batman movie came out, I had all the memorabilia for the Batman 1989 Batman when it first came out. When they had the I forget what I'm not sure if it was like Pizza Hut or Domino's. They had these like glass mugs for Batman. Was it Batman Returns? I forget which one.
Right.
No, Batman for what was the one with Riddler? Was it Batman Forever? Was it with Riddler? I believe. I forget.
I think it was Batman Forever.
Yeah, they had like these they had these like mugs, these glass mugs where like each one was like Two-Face, one was Batman, one was the Riddler, and I forget the other one was, but yeah, just stuff like that, Ninja Turtle stuff, just collecting all that. Yeah,
I remember even running out and buying Beanie Babies. Like I was just a collector. I saw people collect them. I had the Princess Diana Beanie Baby.
Really?
And then I sold them not too long after. I probably would have been worth a lot more now if I saved them.
You think so? You think there's a market value for the Beanie Babies?
I do. I had the WWF set of Beanie Babies. I believe I still have them. I know I still have them.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the case,
one Stone Cold. So
yeah, you gotta find it.
Got rid of.
Yeah, you gotta find it.
In that room right over there. But I just found all my Topps trading cards for WWF from when I was a kid with the stickers. There were stickers inserts, and they're in mint condition. And I'm thinking, do I need to send these away to get graded? Because it's pretty friggin' awesome.
Maybe. And I have actually ended up finding a Hulk Hogan. It was a Rockin' Wrestling. It was a sticker book.
Wow.
It was like it's in the plastic still with all the sticker packs. Like
I had that as a kid. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Still have it. Not sure. I mean, I don't think it's like worth much on eBay or anything like that, but I mean, I still have it. It's pretty cool just seeing it in the pack. I haven't opened it yet. I feel like if I open it, it's just gonna like disintegrate into dust. So I'm just leaving it in the plastic for now.
That's smart. That's real. I still have all my LJN thumb wrestlers from back then. I have all the bendies. So I need to get all the black hearts. Still, I'm gonna do it. Do it. So at some point. I don't know. Marco, this was so much fun.
It was great.
Yeah, man. We're gonna have to have you come on again, and we'll chat it up again. Go more in depth on some of this, our views on wrestling, and maybe talk about the head of table.
Yeah, of course.
In the current state of wrestling. But guys, before we go, make sure you're following the Pod Foundation on Twitter and Instagram. There are some great, podcasts there. We're all connected. They're all great. You got the Extra Cool Show, the Chick Foley Show, all the shows on the Turnbuckle Tavern. I think we have 6 days of new podcasts coming at you now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's 6 days. We have Monday, we have the debate show. Tuesday, we have At the Movies with Hawk and Chad. Yep. Wednesdays, we got this show. Obviously, you know that because you're listening to it. The flagship show on Thursday. On Friday, we have Visits to Tavern. On Saturday, you can listen to Fig Night. It's the audio version of Fig Night. Marco, tell everybody about where they could listen to the Chick Foley Show, where they can watch it now.
Oh, yeah. You can watch on YouTube now. We're actually, you can see our faces while we're recording the show. We like to pride ourselves in the one take. We don't do edits or anything like that. Everything's whatever you see is how it's going. We don't break for anything. So we've gotten really good at it too, because it does look like there's edits, but sometimes there are if we have to like break up the show. But other than that, it's a one-shot deal, and it's just a conversation piece. So yeah, definitely YouTube. You just search Chick Foley Show. And then we're everywhere you can get your podcasts, so Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, SoundCloud, literally everywhere. Just search Chick Foley on Google, and it'll pop up definitely.
Yeah, I love the Chick Foley Show, guys. So listen to it if you haven't yet. You probably have, though. If you're listening to us, you hear us preaching to watch it. Also, follow us on all the social media platforms: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure you're following us on YouTube. If you, what else? YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Leave a 5-star review on iTunes. Show us, proof that you left one. We're gonna send you some stickers if you send it to us at one of our social media accounts, and you'll be entered into this awesome contest we're having that has 5 levels. We're going to give away stuff at 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000 followers on YouTube. The 1,000 followers on YouTube is going to be the granddaddy of them all. The one thing we've announced so far is the autographed Becky Lynch Elite. So all you have to do, and it's coming from my personal collection, all you have to do is follow us on YouTube, send us a tweet, and that's an entry. No matter where you follow us, if you send us, proof that you're following us there, that's another entry. Get your mother's phone, have her follow us, send it to us. That's another entry for you. And soon we're going to be announcing all the different levels. And I just found out something else that's going to be in there today. So it might even be something we talked about on this very podcast. That's all I'm going to say.
Don't give it a. Are you giving away your Warrior LJN? Is that one of the things? I'm joking.
No. Let's not go crazy now.
Boy.
All right, guys. Thank you again for watching, for listening today. Until next week, thank you, Marco. I am the OG Fig Kid. Love, peace, and pro wrestling.